Hi there, my name is Toby, and on this video I want to talk about the elbow joint. You see, this training is all about the joints, the tendons, more than the muscles. It's about the bone structure, how to hold the bones together, and then using the joints, the tendons, to hold the bones together and create movements with them. And we train this, and I train this by isolating the joints, working on each joint individually, but also in connecting the joints into one big unit. The whole bone structure connects as a single unit, and then you move from there. But in this video we're concentrating on the elbow joint, and we're using this in a martial arts sense. But martial arts is still just secondary. Really, this is all about controlling your body and feeling inside how the body moves and how to control this from the joints, the tendons. And this is very healthy. This is very, very good for us. If we can do this correctly, this improves all condition of our body, improves blood flow, lymphatic flow, and also joint mobility. You know, you'll never get arthritis if you do this sort of training. Now here, this is martial arts, and I'm using the elbow, and I'm flicking the elbow out into short, tiny movements. The hands are loose, but I'm concentrating on one knuckle, the first finger knuckle. And in traditional Shaolin, we used to call this Phoenix Eye. This was Phoenix Eye in the traditional Shaolin Kung Fu. But you've also got Praying Mantis Kung Fu, and there's some styles of Praying Mantis that will favor this one knuckle, this one finger, the first knuckle. But you can see it's a slight loose. There's a whip to it. The wrist is loose. You can see I flick out the elbow, but the wrist and the hand is loose, and that naturally creates a little whip down to the front knuckle, like you're knocking on a door. This is how you might knock on a door. But if you can do this effectively, it is very powerful. You can create a very tiny, powerful strike into the first knuckle. And here is how I'm holding the knuckle, or you can see the position and the looseness of the wrist. So you've got to practice so that you feel the wrist moving in its natural direction. And there, it's just like knocking on a door. Knock, knock, knock. Yeah, come in. You can see, but it's about the elbow and also the shoulder. See, I'm pulling the shoulder a little bit back at the same time as I flick the elbow out, and I flick it out into a whip that goes down to the wrist and down to the first knuckle. And as I was saying, there's a particular style of Kung Fu, Praying Mantis, that works on this, and they're probably the most dedicated to training the elbow joint, the elbow tendons, and that is called Chow Gar Praying Mantis. You can look them up. I spent a little bit of time training with them, but most of my training was in traditional Shaolin Kung Fu, all different types of movements. But you see this elbow training in all different internal martial arts, Tai Chi as well. They will have this sort of elbow training, but not as dedicated as Chow Gar Praying Mantis, and they will use this first knuckle, but they won't be doing it quite like I'm doing here. I'm doing a loose whip strike, so what I'm doing is quite unique, and I've got to be clear, this is my method of training, and everything I'm doing is really freestyle. I'm not showing any particular sets. Everything I do in all these videos is freestyle, and I've done so many moves that these moves come naturally to me, but it's got to be real, it's got to be spontaneous. But my purpose is not, I'm not even worried about martial arts. I'm just feeling a flow like a dancer. I'm enjoying the flow, feeling the pleasure of it in my body. So let's have a little exercise that works the elbow. So hold your arms out, you bend your arms in. As you bend your arms in, twist your hands in, your little finger towards you, and this pulls your elbows towards each other. And then as you extend the arms out, you twist the little finger out, the palms out, flex them back, but keep the elbows in. So you're creating a tension from the elbow joint down the forearm. And the fingers, you're trying to twist them, you twist them so much that the fingers even curl up. You see, as I pull them in, the elbows go in, the fingers curl up. So I extend out, I twist the hands out, but keep the elbows in. So this will create a strong tension in the tendons and the elbow, either side of the elbow joint, and the forearm, all the way down to the hands. So you're flexing the hands back, trying to twist the hands back and twist them out, but keeping the elbows pointing up, the pit of the elbow pointing up. So this creates a stretch down the forearm. And if you see, if I do it with a fist, you can see it even more dramatically. This is how you do it, the basic or traditional martial arts punching, or how it should be done. See, I pull the elbow in. If I pull in with my hands, but twist the wrist over against it, so this tightens up the elbow joint, and the tighter it becomes, you can't even straighten the arm, because you're creating a counter twist. You're twisting the elbow in but the wrist out, and the further you straighten the arm, the tighter this counter twist becomes, and this prevents the elbow from locking straight. See, I'm naturally preventing the elbow locking, so I don't actually want to jar my elbow. I want to create tension and stretch in my elbow from the tendons, the elbow tendons themselves. See, and this is a very short, powerful strike, 1-inch power, but it's just the elbow joint. So I'm doing that by controlling the tendons. Remember, pull the elbows in towards each other, but twist the wrist out against it without turning the elbow out. So the elbow and the wrist fight against each other. Okay, I hope this made sense. You can play around with it. You'll feel this quite quickly and you'll see the strength in your arm, but do go carefully. You can still hurt yourself when you try and do this training. Okay, check out one of these other videos, and I look forward to seeing you next time.